Hi guys, I'm back. It's Ariana Sidway, holistic health practitioner and spiritual guide, and I'm back with another reading for you guys today. I meditated a little bit before this message and cleared my channel and my energy, and I just ask that spirit guides, angels of the highest vibrations of love and light help me deliver a message as clearly as possible for the individuals watching this video for their highest good and the highest good of all. Thank you so much. So it is 7:17, and before I meditated, in my mind's eye, I saw a door. So I'm seeing that doors are opening, and I actually just got a text saying something's coming in. My boyfriend just texted me saying that something's coming in. So a door is opening. And this is my conscious spirit deck. Maybe you feel like something's right around the corner. Maybe you're feeling anxious, but it's not like an anxious energy. It's just more so like anticipation, feeling like you're energetically feeling this coming towards you before maybe it physically does, or you consciously can perceive this. But a door is opening. Spirit, can you tell us more about this collective, please? Spirit awakens and spirit guides. Wow. A lot of blue here. 25 and 1. So spirit awakens. I embrace my soul purpose and align all aspects of my life to it fully. Look at that. And spirit guides, number 25. I open my heart to my guides and trust the wisdom they share with me. So 25 is also 7 and 1. So 717 at the time that I started this reading is very significant. But I feel like there are cycles closing, there are lessons that you've learned, and they're providing a new beginning for you. I feel like you're awakening. That word is so, I don't know how I feel about that word. I like the word remembering more, but it's giving like you're remembering your soul purpose, or at least where you want to pour more of your energy into in this life. I think that the word soul purpose can stress a lot of people out and make people feel like they need to find out what their soul purpose is, when in reality, your journey will guide you to that when you're meant to, like, embark upon that journey and start living your life in that way, right? Like a lot of people that we know that are like super famous and legendary that might not even be here on this planet with us right now have like maybe started are famous for things that they did later in their lives. But what I'm seeing right now for you is that you are starting to make small choices that are aligning to your remembrance. Like past life stuff might be coming up as well. I feel like maybe spiritual, like even spiritually speaking, you might be experiencing different things. So maybe you are like intentionally, consciously trying to connect with your spirit guides. And if that's not you, what I'm feeling is maybe you're experiencing subtle layers of higher communication coming to you, or you're tapping into it, right? It's all there. It's just aligning our energy to be able to receive what we want to receive, whether that's clarity, guidance, a vision, next steps, And I feel like maybe it's not you connecting with your spirit guide specifically, but it's you having more a heightened state of connection to your intuition, or maybe you're getting like more bodily sensations. Maybe you're starting to develop clairaudience, whatever it may be, you're learning how to access higher dimensional information that you are now going to be using to make changes in your life. And they might not be under the intention of, I need to make change or create change, but it's more so like natural different choices is what I'm seeing. And they're all adding up. So it's opening a door for you. And I love that. So let's get more information about this through the tarot. I have some other oracle decks as well here, but there's a lot of blue. I feel like there's an energy here regarding your throat chakra and learning how to express yourself clearly and more openly as well. There might be a fear that you used to have, or that took a lot of effort and energy for you, and attention and love for you to heal, which is like fear of speaking up. Maybe as a child, you felt like like your voice didn't have a space in your home, like you were meant to be seen and not heard, or you just weren't allowed to express yourself unless it aligned with everyone else's beliefs or attitudes here. Knight of Cups. Okay, so this is, wow, horses might be significant in general. A lot of these cards have horses on them, but I was really drawn to that. Maybe you're seeing horses in your reality. Maybe you're connected to horses, animals in general, animal spirits here, pets. But I'm seeing that this Knight of Cups is going to be some sort of invitation, some sort of door. And this is like symbolizing the door to walk through. It's giving like initiation or like expansion when it comes to your internal world, how you operate, the information that you're able to attain in any situation. It's giving like upgrades spiritually and energetically. But with the cups are all about expression and feeling and fulfillment. And so I'm feeling like this is going to be fulfilling for you, validating for you. It's going to help you connect and feel more connected to spirituality or the universe, source, energy, right? And when we're connected like that and we maintain this spiritual connection, it's like you have that available to you at all times. And I feel like this Knight of Cups is symbolizing the door that's opening for you. And it might not be a physical door. It might not be an actual email or an invitation saying, come here, come through this door, right? It's subtle. I feel like this door is subtle and you're just going to effortlessly walk through it. I just saw the word accepting as well. Like you're learning to accept pieces of your authenticity that you struggled to accept in the past. And you're going to learn or are in the process of learning that these aspects of yourself that brought shame really didn't bring shame. It was just programmed into you to be shameful of these parts of yourself. And so I'm just seeing this energy of like you learning like, oh my gosh, the parts of myself that I used to not be able to accept or show, or even maybe practice and mastered being able to mask those things or shove them down. You are now going to learn that they were there for a reason, and that the meaning you chose to take away from that was that this is shameful, this is embarrassing, this is humiliation, but that was all based off of everyone else's reactions to that. And obviously you probably didn't know that was what was happening when you were a little kid, being rejected for being in your authenticity. We have death here. I just saw the word bullying as well, so maybe that kind of resonates with you guys. But death here. So this is, again, massive spiritual transformation and transition. Ace of Cups, fulfillment, literally. Exactly. Ace of Cups. So I'm feeling like so much happiness is going to be pouring into your life. And it's because I'm getting this energy of, you know how to meet your needs. I feel like you're such a strong person. I'm sensing so much strength from you. And maybe a little bit of stubbornness as well, but that's okay. But we have Ace of Cups, and this is giving love, joy, and happiness. But I think it's because you have learned how to meet your own needs, right? Like I feel like that's kind of like the base of the journey, is learning how to make sure your needs are met. And then once your needs are met, you now have all of this creative energy and this other expansive energy to use, right? Like if you're financially struggling, it's really hard to follow your soul purpose, right? Like it's hard to do all of these things that we all want to do when our actual needs aren't being met, when our health is out of whack, when our living situation, family dynamics, relationships aren't going well. It's hard to put our energy into things like creation and expansion and obtaining more abundance. And so what I'm feeling from you is like your needs are met. Now you're going to be working on attracting your desires here. And this is kind of a message that's been coming through for a few days. It kind of trickled into one of my TikTok readings as well. King of Swords. You have the ability to see the truth. You have this, again, this strength, this ability to discern. I feel like you've had a lot of experiences along your spiritual journey thus far that have, again, the word test, I don't really enjoy the word test, but that have tested your ability to discern, right? A lot of us that come from people-pleasing tendencies or trauma, fear, stuff like that, we have struggle with being able to stay true to ourselves and trust ourselves even when the whole room disagrees, or even when everyone around us we know doesn't believe the things that we believe, or trusting ourselves even though we express our soul purpose or we express what our desires are and people laugh in our face, right? So I feel like you've been tested a lot when it comes to like, maybe you gained more information about yourself and who you're meant to become and what you're meant to be doing here. And you were tested once you received that information of like, are you going to conform? Are you going to stay true to yourself? Are you going to be able to discern the people in front of you and like their judgment, their projection onto you? And are you going to allow that to influence how you feel about the things that you know, kind of energy? I hope that you followed that. But yeah, this is giving like detachment, like able to detach from judgment, from criticism, understanding that people's judgments and their critiques are just their own personal opinions based on their current way of perceiving life. So it actually has nothing to do with you. And that was huge for you along your journey here. And I feel like whatever it is that you're meant to create, it's so funny how a card pops out and in alignment to what I want to say. Moon in reverse. So all about you releasing the fear, removing the veil, right? Like you are now able to see through certain people's motives, their intentions. You've learned a lot about being able to kind of just sense people, right? And maybe you like grew up and always kind of had this ability. And obviously back then, maybe at that time in the world, it wasn't, now all this talk of empaths and clair gifts and being able to read energy, like none of that stuff was talked about or prevalent back then, like decades ago. But I feel like maybe you had certain things that you developed naturally as a child, like empathy or just the ability to like discern really well and understand. Like, I feel like you're able to tell, like see through the mask that people wear. And in order to, I feel like whatever it is you're building on or whatever it is that you've gained more information about through your spiritual practice or your spiritual development about your life, whatever you're going to be like moving in the direction toward requires you to release this fear of judgment. And when you release that, it makes it then easier to live in your purpose because you're detached from what anyone thinks about it, right? Like it's really hard to like know what's right for you and then also balance that out with what other people want from you too, right? At some point, one of them has to go, okay? Queen of Pentacles in reversed, Two of Pentacles reversed. So this is screaming imbalance. This is screaming instability when it comes to your material world. You struggled. You've really, and you know what's so beautiful about this at the same time is that while you struggled, I'm hearing you didn't fold. Maybe at times you considered folding, but I really feel like you are so strong, right? Like in these moments of rock bottom, a lot of times we can choose, you know what? F all this shit. F my spirituality, F all this. I'm going to go back to, I'm going to just do something easy. And that's fine if you choose to do that, right? However, you chose to stick with it. You held the faith, even when it was like this small in moments. You knew that this was all happening for you, that eventually, like, this is temporary, that this is all happening so you can grow and expand and evolve out of something like this, which is like lack. So I feel like what's happened is your transition from this energy of lack, of being unstable, of not having a balance materially, financially, with resources, assistance in your life, it's required you to really look within. And you chose to do that, right? Again, free will. Like, I think along a lot of our journeys and a lot of these points, like we never really reflect on the fact of like, oh, in that really tough moment when I was crying, when I was praying, when I was so low, I could have thrown in the towel. I could have done this. There were so many other things that I could have just been like, F this. Like, I'm not living like this anymore. And these moments are so necessary. I've hit rock bottom so many times, but your rock bottom, I feel like, or maybe it wasn't rock bottom, but it was just like maybe making poor decisions or self-sabotaging or people-pleasing, giving your money away, giving your resources, your time to other people. Meanwhile, you're struggling. You need that time to build for you. You need that time to pour into your health. It was almost like you're such a giver. You're giving all this energy away, leaving you in lack. And I feel like these are boundaries. These are habits. These are routines that you've learned to rewrite. And now you're meeting your own needs. Like, I feel like this is past energy, this instability. Maybe you're still a little bit in there, but you're transitioning. You're finding more of your balance now. And you have been balanced for a while, but you're waiting and wanting that expansion to more, right? And I want to say as well that it was really difficult for me, especially with a lot of doing a lot of religious deconstruction. It was really difficult for me along my journey, as I say that with 1555. It was really difficult for me to allow myself and accept that I desire things, that I want more. And when you get to this perspective that it is sacred and divine, and it's okay to say, this served me at one point in my life. This relationship served me. This amount of money and income served me at one point in my life. At one point, this was enough for me, but I'm ready for more. Thank you so much for this, but I'm ready for more. And that's sacred. That's divine, right? Like, there's an energy here about like not fearing abundance, but guilting yourself into thinking. Like, I feel like this collective might have had some sort of belief. Sorry if it got loud, my heat turned on. But I feel like this collective had some sort of belief of like, other people need money more than me, or like some sort of belief system about limited abundance. There's not enough money for everyone to be successful. So that means that it's going to be really, really, really hard for me to make more money, right? So I feel like you've rewritten that. You've learned like it's okay to ask for more. It's safe. I'm worthy. I deserve it, right? And I feel like your money is going to be increasing, but it's because of your self-worth has. This Judgment card is giving rebirth through and through. You've rebirthed yourself. You've shed that old identity, that old energy, that old program that you lived in that was rooted in lack, rooted in it's not safe for me to receive more, or this is how my life is going to be, or it's not, I feel in my ego to ask for more. Like, it's interesting. I'm feeling this disconnect between like you genuinely behind closed doors saying what you desire and knowing you can have it, but like when it comes to it actually manifesting for you, you had doubt about it, or you didn't feel like you were worthy. And I'm hearing that your money is tied to your self-worth. It always is. And so you've rewritten a lot of your self-worth. You've shed the old person that you were comfortable being and realized it wasn't serving you anymore. You've outgrown your old self and you've stepped into a new one. 3 of Swords reversed. You've released a lot of pain. I feel like I have to be true to what I'm receiving, but I was hearing like self-inflicted pain, and I don't mean that in a like legitimate way, but I mean it as far as like a lot of times along our journeys when we're learning how to be brutally friggin' honest with ourselves, we realize that we are the cause of a lot of our own suffering. For example, harboring resentment, right? Like, you're the only one suffering because of the resentment that you harbor. And it's learning to release that energy to feel more peace, right? It actually has nothing to do with the other person. It has everything to do with you. So I feel like you've had a lot of hard looks in the mirror as well, but you are the one that freed yourself. 1911. You are the one that freed yourself. This is giving endings to beginnings. 9 to 1, end to beginning. You freed yourself from a lot of the pain, a lot of the things that you kept and held on to from the past that were not serving you, right? Things like I'm hearing you talking to yourself in your head like nothing that you ever do is enough, or even if you did have like accomplished something, it was like, okay, well, what's the next thing? You know, like you never celebrated yourself. I feel like there's a lot of self-forgiveness that you were able to pour into yourself, which is absolutely gorgeous and lovely and amazing. Any final messages with the tarot here? Okay, the Hermit. So I feel like you have done so much spiritual, like this is you with your bright light now after you went through the darkness, right? In order to go through a rebirth, you have to die first. You have to go into the darkness. You have to address and face your shadow. And that's uncomfortable. A lot of people don't want to do that. But that's how you come into harmony and wholeness within, is because you have met all parts of yourself. You no longer fear or reject any part of yourself. You're comfortable in who you are. You're not blaming and harboring all this extra energy from the past. It's almost giving like you gave yourself a clean slate. You are reprogrammed, and you're now looking towards the future of like using my spirituality to guide my life and create the things that I want to create. Now it's like this looking towards the future and getting excited for what you now have the energy available to you to create, right? Like when we're in survival mode, when we're at rock bottom, we're not focused on expanding and creating and desires. We're focused on how can I get my freaking needs met, you know? These are my angel cards, so we're gonna see what kind of energy your angels are sending you at this time. Thank you so much, angels. Concepts right now that are coming up are like light language and meditation. Like maybe you're really just carving out a little bit more time in your daily life to connect, right? And that might even just be in your car on your lunch break. Like instead of watching YouTube or instead of just doing something that you normally would do, you meditate for 10 minutes or you pray before you go into an interview. Like there's these small little things that to you are small that aren't small at all. Angel of Faith. Yeah, there's a lot of like being more curious about spirituality, developing more of a spiritual practice. But whatever this is like you have such high faith at this time, and your angels are supporting you in this energy and kind of helping you hold this energy as well. Like whatever it is that you're going through, whatever's going on in your life currently, I feel like you're holding the faith. You have this optimistic mindset that things are going to work out. Okay, we have like a lot of star energy, earth energy here. So yeah, I just feel like you're in a very grounded state and you are optimistically looking towards the future as to what you're looking forward to, finding more joy in your daily life as well. Let's get one more oracle to tie out this reading. I'm so proud of you. This work is not freaking easy. It's not for the weak. And even like part of me doesn't like saying stuff like that, because like I will welcome anyone in spirituality, but it's giving like you have to be a certain kind of person where you have to learn to be really freaking honest with yourself, because if you're not, you're the one that's ultimately going to suffer. If you don't want to admit certain things, you're going to continue to live the same way. You're going to continue, like eventually it gets you to this point where you have to admit certain things to yourself in order to continue to heal, right? If you're in denial, you're not really going to heal anything. You're just going to remain the way you are. Expect powerful change. Okay. Look how powerful your energy is. It's powerfully changing shit. Communication is key. A lot of blue. Okay. And I feel like communication, obviously, to people around you. If your priorities are changing, if your routines are changing, make sure to communicate that to people around you. Maybe you're working on that throat chakra at this time as well, like practicing, talking, expressing yourself. Maybe you're finding yourself in like weird, awkward parts of conversation and you're like kind of fighting that part of you that just wants to agree or water down your opinion. You're learning how to say what you want to say through love. Like you're speaking your truth, but from love, and you're learning how to feel safe and okay in that. And you're feeling free as a result in these situations. But also with the communication is key in the blue, how we started off with these two blue cards, Spirit Guidance, Spirit Awakens, is like, communication is key when it comes to the universe, right? Like you have the ability to tap in. You have the ability to ask for clarity, guidance, protection, whatever it is. So never take that for granted, right? And I also feel like there's this message coming through of like, be open, like communicate to your guides, communicate to your team, to God, whatever it is, to source, right? I use all those words. But I'm just feeling like you're supported, you are guided, your guides are so proud of you, your angels are so proud of you. Keep holding the faith. I mean, you went through so much, and things are, I feel like I'm hearing like the past is behind you. The past is behind you. A lot of pain, like a lot of shedding, a lot of letting go and rebirthing yourself into a new version of you where lack isn't present. And that's all because of you. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this reading, and I will see you guys in the next one.